All right, sorry about that. I'll let the and now my video's choppy. Live is hard mode. All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing, Cameroon? Oh. All right, sorry about that. I'll let the and now my video's choppy. Live is hard mode. All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing, Cameroon? Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely understand that. There's you get enough blankets involved, and suddenly a bed gets real sticky. Yeah. And blankets. Yeah. Whew. They can get. Heavy. I can definitely understand that. There's get enough blankets involved, and suddenly a bed gets real sticky. I have not yet tried one, but I have this one blanket that I bought in Afghanistan. They can get heavy. It's just a heavy-ass blanket, and it's freaking
Yes,
awesome.
they do.
Anyway, good morning.
I have not yet tried one, but I have
with the
this one blanket
scheduling
I bought in
piece.
Afghanistan.
It looks like Steve is watching the wrong video.
It's just a heavy-ass blanket, and it's
Danny
freaking
says
awesome.
she can't hear.
Anyway,
Cam.
good morning. I don't
Cam,
know
talk
what's
to me for
going
a
on
minute.
with the scheduling piece. It looks like Steve's watching the wrong video. Danny says she can't hear Cam. Cam, talk to me for a minute.
It's nice to have our chat get all... Okay. It's nice to have our chat get all prettied up, that's for sure.
Okay, I think we fixed it. Isn't it though? Honestly, that's just what we see, but everybody else still sees the regular old chat. I hope
It's
Steve
live
figures
as hard
out
mode.
what's going on. In fact, I'm going to pop over to YouTube right now and go to the... I don't know what happened this morning. It's, well, it's the second time this has happened. I created a great freaking... I created a great freaking thumbnail and everything this morning, and for some reason when I hit stream from Restream,
That's all very interesting.
went...
You know,
it
this
just
actually
created
happened a
whole new
couple
one.
of shows in a row now where, like, the first, 30, 60, 90 seconds, there's issues with syncing and stuff like that. And then suddenly it all works.
Well, the looping audio problem, that's a result of me trying to fix the problem that we had yesterday, and apparently I fixed it wrong. So I've unfixed it, and now the original problem should be back. But we're doing any video clips this morning, so it shouldn't affect us much. I just have to pay attention when I make the switch. Hey, we got Drew on here. Good morning, Drew. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Krista. Hopefully Steve got the message that I just dropped on the other video, and he'll come join us in a second. So here's what we are talking about today. We got a little WTF CNN, and this one I'm actually less interested in what CNN has to say on the subject. Yesterday we talked about this COVID relief bill, which is an absolute...
It's a joke without a punchline.
Our elected officials just came out, pointed a gun at every American, and stole $2,700 from each of us, out of which they offered to pay back $600, which we're still going to be on the hook for.
Right. Yeah, but they're totally going to have gender studies in the Middle East. Because that's what COVID relief is all about.
Asinine. Please believe, if you ever bring me your resume and it says gender studies on it, we're done. I don't care what else you think you're good for. You're not useful. You have a degree that has made you less intelligent than you would have been without it.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, about how when I was hiring for Radio Shack, I got to the point to where if you had like a 4-year college degree, like you went to the bottom of the stack. I'd rather have like some 18, 19-year-old kid that was hungry, that wanted a job, that needed a job, that was a blank slate. I could do more with that person than I could with somebody that was learned. What do you mean I'm only going to make $10 an hour? Everybody starts at $10 an hour.
But I have a degree.
Yeah, everybody starts at $10 an hour. But I promise.
No, you have a joke. You have a bad joke.
But I promise, in 60 days, you can make a lot more money. But everybody starts at $10 an hour. But it just is what it is.
I don't know about a lot more money.
Well, I mean, but there's opportunities for commission and an increase in your hourly rate. It was pretty easy to double your pay at Radio Shack very quickly.
So, CNN says Trump goes on rampage with pardons, veto threats, and COVID denial. This idea, okay, let's tackle that one first. Let's tackle the idea of COVID denial first. Where? Show me. Okay, there was this whole narrative that ran all year. Oh, Donald Trump said COVID was a hoax. No, he never said that. That assertion is a bald-faced and insidious lie. What he did say is he accused the Democrats of perpetrating a hoax by claiming that his administration was mishandling the COVID pandemic. These are two very different claims, right? The claim that is made by the left, the whole COVID denial thing. Oh, Donald Trump said that COVID-19 is a hoax. No, he didn't. That is to suggest that Donald Trump said that COVID-19 is not a real thing. And I'm not making a claim here one way or the other, whether it was a hoax or whether COVID-19 is real or not. That's irrelevant to the point. Trump said that the claim made by the Democrats that he was mishandling the pandemic was the hoax that was being perpetrated by the Democrats. And he did use the word hoax in that context. But those, like I said, two very different claims. One claim is that Donald Trump doesn't believe COVID-19 is real. The other claim, which is true and correct, is that the Democrats are misleadingly suggesting that he has mishandled the pandemic. Now you look at everything that was done by the administration for the pandemic, and what you see is it's hard to imagine that anybody could have done it better, right? You've got the extra hospitals, you've got the emergency backup hospitals put into place, the arenas turned into emergency backup hospitals, the deployment of the military ships, the Comfort and the Mercy, which went almost completely unused. Apparently the Mercy had one patient and it was not a COVID patient. Cam, I'm suddenly getting a lot of weird buzz from you.
I think it's been corrected. One of the children decided to start watching anime in the other room very loudly.
I see. So anyway, this idea that Trump mishandled the pandemic is just farcical at best.
Yeah, no, you know what this is? This is all Mexicans are rapists.
Yeah, false statement.
Yeah, I mean he's racist.
I'm not saying that the statement "all Mexicans are rapists" is false. The verity of that statement is irrelevant. The claim that Donald Trump made that statement is the relevant claim, and the fact of the matter is, he did not. That claim was never made. He's ruined everything. There he is.
I was trying to fix it. Hey, turns out if you unplug your headphones in the middle of a Skype phone call, it hangs up the Skype phone call. I learned a thing.
Well, it seems to have corrected the buzzing issue, so we'll take what we can get.
When you have a second, can you throw the chat back my way?
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate it.
Okay. And you've completely broken my train of thought. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so we talked about the stimulus piece and how the stimulus is just a big joke. $2,700 out of everybody's pocket to put $600 back in our pockets, sort of.
Yeah, I got it.
And please, also remember this: not everybody gets the $600. There are thresholds. If you're earning above X, I think it's above $99,000 and above $150,000 as a couple. Then you don't get it. And okay, sure, whatever. There's your utilitarian social utopian crap. But anywho, Krista says her daughter won't get one. Yeah, there's something about children over the age of 17 and dependent adults don't get any stimulus. So, but
yeah,
I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he and I were of the opinion, as we were discussing it yesterday, that this bill is such a load of garbage that Trump needs to just veto it. But I don't think he will. And Dad and I were agreed on this. We don't think he will because of political expediency. And hey, he's come out and said, now, I've got some complaints, but he has come out and said that he's not going to sign it as is. And that's a mixed bag, but a pleasant surprise. And we'll get into that a little bit more. What are you thinking about it, Cameron?
Okay. Sure, he threatens to veto it, but he's threatening to veto it because basically it's not good enough. He's not threatening to veto it because of any philosophical bent. He's not threatening to veto it because it doesn't address the underlying problem. He's threatening to veto it for some very surface level stuff. And I do think there is a legit argument to be made that says, okay, we're going to, pass this $900 billion relief bill and only $200 billion are actually going to individual Americans. Like, I mean, that in and of itself, is a valid argument, but without having anything else attached to it where, we address censorship or lockdowns or anything else, because what often happens in the sausage making of these types of bills is, okay, I'll give away the thing that I don't want to give away, but you're going to give me part of what I want. And this is basically this is arguing over the arrangement of the deck chairs as the Titanic is sinking, as far as I'm concerned. Wasn't it Ben Franklin who said if the public ever figures out how to vote itself money from the public trust, the republic will be at its end? And
yes, and that's I'm gonna have to take umbrage with that statement. This is not what we're talking about with this relief bill. This is not just arguing about the arrangement of the chairs on the deck of the Titanic. This is getting in the lifeboat as the Titanic is sinking and using a bucket to actively throw more water on the boat.
Yeah, it just... as far as I'm concerned, it's all a bad joke, But who was it that was... It was us. It was pointing out that, 1/3 of every dollar that's ever been printed has been printed in 2020. That's Banana Republic, level stuff, okay? That's...
Yeah. Dave is asking, I keep hearing about Kennedy Center and Smithsonian, but isn't that an omnibus bill? So, Dave, what's happened is they went ahead and passed a $2.3 trillion omnibus bill. And part of that omnibus bill is the $900 billion COVID relief bill. of which a little less than a third is actually going to relief, to direct relief for individuals, and of the remaining slightly more than 2/3, a little more than half is going to things unrelated to COVID relief, like Pakistani gender studies and so on and so forth. But they tacked it onto that same omnibus bill that's dumping a crap load of money into foreign aid and, $15 billion into movie theaters and all that kind of junk.
Whoa, dude, did the reminder just fire off?
Yeah, it did.
Because it was so loud.
It's too loud? Okay, I'll turn that down then. Anyway, so basically the COVID bill was kind of bundled up with the omnibus bill, precisely so that they could pass the omnibus bill, which is just loaded with pork barrel garbage, kind of under the cover of the COVID bill. Hey, Joy Turpin's with us. Good morning, sunshine. Glad to see you.
Yeah.
No, the two bills were passed together, Joy, and they will be signed as a single piece of legislation, if I understand it correctly. And that is what Donald Trump is threatening to veto. And good God, I hope he does.
And look, just kind of like as a point of fact, hasn't going back to like 2015, 2014, something like that, hasn't everything just been a continuing resolution omnibus bill for like 5 or 6 years in a row now?
Yes.
I mean, that in and of itself, like, what bullshit? I mean, bullshit. Like, no, set a budget, okay? I'm even willing to, even though I'm very libertarian and think the federal government should stay the fuck out of everything, I also understand that politics is the art of the possible. So just pass the damn budget and let us see the pork. Like, I'm extremely black-pilled on all of this. Like, how long before we're the damn Weimar Republic? Like, because one of the things that always stuck out to me in the Weimar Republic was just some of the stories that I read where to buy a loaf of bread, you needed a wheelbarrow because that was how much money it
to take the money. Yeah.
And it got to the point to where it was cheaper to burn the money for warmth than it was to buy firewood. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's where we're headed. Steve says longer. I don't remember I remember it was somewhere in the middle of Obama's presidency the last time we passed a proper budget, and it's just been.
And that was the first one in almost as long. They don't even call them budgets anymore. They don't even pretend like they're passing a budget anymore. They pass
the CR.
Even if it's not the big omnibus bill, you'll hear the phrase spending bill.
The CR,
which is ludicrous.
The continuing resolution.
Yeah, the continuing resolution. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, seriously, this is what I'd like to see Donald Trump do. It's pretty clear that that we're not getting any help from the Supreme Cuck. It's pretty clear that a lot of these state legislatures are just not going to sack up and admit that there's problems with their systems. And I guess there's like the long shot end run where it goes to the Senate and gets contested. But I mean, I don't see Mitt Romney or Lisa Murkowski doing the right thing. They're going to go along to get along. I mean, sure, like Rand Paul and Ted Cruz would say, no. There's funny business with these elections. No, I think the best thing Trump could do with the remaining time he has left is to just be a bull in a china shop. Okay, like to the point of being utterly unreasonable, even disagreeing with things that we all know to be factually true. Like, he should literally start telling people that up is down and down is up. I mean, to hell with it. At this point, pardon Assange, even. Fuck them. All of them. Like, refuse to sign anything. Nothing. Refuse to cooperate with anything.
Hey, we've got Alex. Alex McDonald, not Zaluska the Slav. Alex popped in. He says he's already started smashing stuff. Yes. And I ain't gonna lie. Michael Moore may have actually been right about something.
Which is?
Donald Trump. Great big FU to the system. Remember, right before the election in 2016, Michael Moore said Donald Trump's going to win this precisely because you've treated basically white people in the middle in middle America like garbage for so long without doing anything positive for them that they're looking at Donald Trump like a great big old hand grenade that they can just toss at the White House and blow everything up. And there was some truth in that.
I mean, yeah, and I guess I don't know the video to which Alex is referring.
I don't either. So, hey, Alex, if you have a link, man, message it to me, and I'll play it right now. We'll just have to tell Cameron to shut up for a minute.
Well, Cameron's about to have to just shut up and stay shut up because I just got a text from the boss. He's asking me to do extra work today. Why do I have to be responsible? Why did I have to get a reputation as somebody that was willing to take on extra work?
Bekinika.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that in English.
That makes me want to know more, not less.
I thought it might. And I wish you luck and try to look it up because you'd have to spell it in Korean. Can't even use anglicized letters. So, we're going to have to see how it develops here, but understand my problem with the stimulus bill generally is not that $600 is a pittance. I mean, that's obnoxious. $600 is nothing. That's no money. That's a week's salary for a lot of people. That's as a stimulus to say to help you deal with, months and months of lockdown.
Yeah, that won't even pay rent on a one-bedroom apartment.
I mean, even the $2,700. That's even if we got the whole $2,700, that's still Now, I also have this concern. If they do go back to the drawing board with it, what they'll do is they'll give us all, if they do what Trump wants, they'll give us between $2,000 and $4,000 a head. And does anybody honestly believe that the way that's going to happen is they're going to cut out all the pork? No.
Well, not only that, but that'll be the beginning of UBI.
Well, yeah, that's part of what this is about is the beginning of UBI. And what'll happen is there'll just be, I wouldn't even be surprised if they added more pork to it. Like, oh well, we were going to spend 4 times as much in pork as we were in direct relief anyway. So here we go. We'll just take $16,000 from every American, write them each a $4,000 check, and then we'll go and spend $8 trillion on foreign aid and Pakistani gender studies and the mating habits of some albino South African sub-Saharan spider. In fairness, that was a different spending bill, not this one, but that's a thing that happened.
Yes, that's a thing that routinely happens.
Alex did send over this video. It's a 4-minute video. I will watch it. I'll watch it myself later, Alex, and maybe do a commentary on it or something. But I'm not going to try to roll the full 4 minutes right now. But thanks for the link, and I will definitely check that out. Took 264 days to get this bill passed. Yes, I saw your comment on that. That's $2.72 per day of our own money that Congress value us at. Yeah.
Yeah, we're debt slaves. Like it's a joke without a punchline.
So here's what we should do. We should overthrow the government. We should take every currently elected official and liquidate their assets in their entirety. Use the proceeds from that activity to solve as much of the national debt as possible, and then declaim the remainder of the debt and establish a new government. Let's do it. fuck it. It's water the tree, baby. Water the tree.
Real quick before we jump off, Joy asks a question that I think deserves a little bit of treatment. Do you think this could be a turning point for even liberal Americans to stop being permissive of this type of government overreach?
No.
Well, look, I think we need to back up and say liberal Americans, like actual liberals, already hate shit like this. We're not.
Okay, that's
We're
fair.
not talking about liberals. We're talking about progressive. We're talking about socialists. And no, they've drank the Kool-Aid, baby. They don't get it. They have not read their history. They don't understand the problem with being a useful idiot is they get the bullet too.
And then another piece of that, assuming what you really mean, Joy, is what we make the distinction here between liberals and leftists. Liberals, actual liberals, are in short supply, but the leftists, if you look at something like this and ask the question, is this where they get tired of the overreach? Take a look at California, take a look at New York, take a look at Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York City, Portland, Seattle. And the fact of the matter is, they have already tolerated more overreach than this within their own immediate spheres of political power and government, and they continue to vote for it. They continue to vote for it over and over again, despite the clear evidence of the gross failures. Detroit, disaster area. Los Angeles, you look at San Francisco and Los Angeles, and you see not only is the homelessness and the drug abuse problem outrageous, homeless people defecating in the front walkway of private businesses, but the problem is so severe that you're seeing resurgences of medieval diseases like bubonic plague and leprosy. And guys, that's not a conspiracy theory, that's not a weird rumor, and it's not an uncommon thing that's occurring out there. This is uncontrovertibly true that these medieval diseases are recurring in the homeless populations in California. And it's precisely because of the way that the leftist policy positions have not allowed the problem to go uncontrolled. Let me be very clear on this. Their policy positions actively incentivize the exacerbation of the problem.
Yeah, so Joey says, what I hear you saying is that Americans will never come together to put a stop to this kind of hypocrisy. Joy, I contend that Americans did come together to put a stop to this kind of hypocrisy. But then we had the most free and fair election of all time, and those Americans got rebuked. Honk fucking honk. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That is a reasonable and evidence-backed claim. And well phrased. I think you might have dodged the algorithm, but we'll see what happens.
Yes. But yeah, that's let's see, is there anything else that we're missing here? Alex is pointing out that that part of what's happening with this relief bill was a poison pill, so they could frame things to make Perdue and Loeffler look bad, and that voting for the cheap suit awesome and Raphael Warnock, like, ooh. With regard to that, I've already written off the Georgia elections. I'm still going to go vote for Loeffler and Perdue.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to vote.
But
in fairness, because of my current situation, I will probably end up voting on election day, I may not be able to. I may not be physically capable of going to vote before the during the early voting period. And honestly, I might just start making it a point to vote on election day in every election going forward. We've talked about how early voting is bullshit. And that might be one of the things that I start. Hey! This may be the first time Cade Miller Robinson has ever joined us live on the show. We miss you, baby. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, except for when he's physically live on the show. But as far as being in the comments section,
yes. He's actually been on the show. But I don't think I've ever seen him pop up in the live comments before. Good to see you this morning, brother. You're late because we're about to wrap it up, but. No, Cade, we did not talk about the Warnock police cam video, and we're not going to dig into that today. We might get into that later.
Yep.
As in a later show, but we're about to wrap it up here.
Yep. And in fact, I do need to. I need to call it, buddy, because I'm still getting the text that's like, "Hey, hello, Cameron." Okay.
You should tell your boss to watch the show so he knows. That way, when he sends you the text, you can be like, "Look, Joe, or whatever the hell your name is, I'll be with you in a minute, baby."
I deliberately don't tell my job about my YouTube life.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
I like having my job. God.
For now.
God, and even that.
All right, guys.
We have the time to talk about it. The fact that I am afraid to mention that I am a YouTuber at work, even in and of itself, just. But anyhow, yeah. All right, guys, we love you very much.
Yep. Y'all be safe out there. We'll see you tomorrow.